Okay, so these are like the flow designer thing where we have to navigate using, we will type here flow designer and then we will navigate to flow designer. Okay, so you can see we have like flow, subflow, actions, executions. Okay, and these are the connections, like you can see those connections, so these are not configured. So these are related to spoke kind of thing, like when you can see this is a Docker spoke. When we have connection with this Docker and we are getting some information from those thing. Okay, so at that point of time there is spokes available in ServiceNow system wherein it integrates with this Docker and we will get some information
Mm-hmm.
configured directly without suppose without hitting their endpoint URL, because we already have some plugins through which we will get the spoke, individual spoke for all of them. This Docker spoke will be different, for this spoke will be different, and for this as well. So
Mm.
for every integration, spoke will be behaving as a separate one. Okay.
Yeah.
So there, for example, there is a ITSM spoke as well, where they are where the incident and problem records is managed. Okay,
Yeah.
and an action step. Action step is nothing. Those are the steps. Like suppose we create sequence of actions, right? We used to create in workflow, like right. The
Mm-hmm.
sequence of actions we are creating, like first
Starting
the
with.
approval is generated, and then after approval we are creating a task, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in a workflow also we have seen, so those are just steps, like one step by sequence of actions is called as steps. So let me open one of the existing one. I will create also new, but let me
Action type.
open new. So you can see this is one of our existing form, existing flow. Okay, so you can see how this looks. So this is completely different from workflow, right? So here we are having trigger, here we are having action. As I mentioned, like action is required in all the flow. Whichever flow we will create action as well for all kind of flows.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see, you can see we have all the steps are displaying here as well, right?
Yeah.
So these are also steps, like first step, what they are doing, updating the record, which record they have mentioned, request record, and what they are updating action status. Okay, they are setting flow variable, they are looking up the record and doing things. So here they can just open it and see what we have configured or what we can configure as part of our requirement, right? So this way they have written actions, all the actions, update request record, set flow variables. Okay. And those flow we can execute in any tables or any catalog items. Okay.
Yep.
So, so there is one difference while creating flow and workflow. So for workflow, we have to navigate to other workflow editor. For flow designer, we have to navigate to flow designer. Okay. And you can see in this flow designer, we have multiple options. Here we are having test button and we can deactivate our flow. And we, once deactivated, we can again activate, update and save this flow. And we can see we have our okay. So this is the flow view diagram view, which I will show when I will create a new flow, because this is the existing flow that is not displaying the thing, but I will show you. Okay. So let's try to create new one. All right.
Yeah.
So from here we can click on new button and then we will click on flow. We will type flow name. So suppose so I have just added something like incident update. So okay, and now we can see when we have to execute it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So see, we have option like suppose I have added the trig just name I have added, but now I have to select when the record is created at that point of time we have to execute or updated or both the time, or we can create a schedule as well using our flow. Okay, and we can create created updated. So suppose I'm adding as created or updated, and now I will add incident table. Okay. Now here we can add our filter as well, like filter conditions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So incident table we have already selected. Suppose state is new. Okay. So we have added this condition and now we have run trigger. So for each unit change, so once is fine. Okay. Because this is the default selection. So this is the trigger action which is created. Now we have to add any action or flow logic or subflow we can attach here. Okay, if we will click on subflow, we will get options to add workflow, existing flow. And if we are clicking on flow logic, so you can just add if condition, or we can add decision box like yes or no, and we can add do the following things in parallel. For each we can add, if else we can add. Okay, and we have action. So action we can do any kind of thing like you can see these are existing spokes which is already present in system. You can see huge number of spokes are there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now what we will do is like we will use update details. That's it. We are not going to do other things. Okay. So we can see here the option has come like what you have to set. So we have incident records, change fields, incident table. So we can click here. I have selected active, but I will select suppose short description. Okay. Why it is coming this way? Let me create another action. Not this one. Suppose what I can do. Suppose I will select send notification itself. So we can see we have notification to be, we can add here. Currently we have two notification here. Okay. So we can create new from here and then we can add here, but I will not do such kind of thing. Uh, I'm going to show you something. So this is our ServiceNow core thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So here you can see we have multiple things. Yeah, this one only. So ServiceNow core, we have to select this ServiceNow core whenever we have to modify record, or we have to send something for approval. Okay, or we have to create record task, or we have to update record, or we have to update multiple records, or you can create a catalog task using our ServiceNow core spoke. Okay.
Yeah.
So suppose you can update here. You can select update record as well. So that's what I have selected, update global, I think. So here you have, now you can see here something is added like data pill picker. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now what you can do is like you can directly drag and drop here. Is it working? Okay. This trigger is removed. Why? I have added the filter previously, right?
Yeah.
Why it gone? It is new and it is done. Now I will add this data pill. You will see this incident record, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now we will update this current record. So you can directly drag and drop this record here. That's it. Okay. And you can update the field value. So you can see I will add short description. Okay. I will click on done. I will save it. Now you can see this is the diagram view which I was showing. It was not working there. Now you can see it will be displaying this way. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
So it will just look like an algorithm which we used to study, like in flowchart, right? So we can change the view and we can see how whether it is looking fine or not. And you can just view this, and we can add another node as well using this flowchart view. Okay. So now I will activate this. Now you can see our flow is activated. Okay.
Yeah.
And now what I will do, this
Publish.
no, publish is not required here. Activation is the publish thing.
Yeah. Test. Sorry. Test.
So now you can see we have test button here,
Mm.
and we can select ours, or we can select existing one, or we can create new as well. See, this new
Mm-hmm.
record came here for
Mm-hmm.
testing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to go on incident form. You just clicked on test and we got the things here. Right? It is looking good, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to redirect. And now I will submit it. Okay. These are all validations. What is there in this file?
You can take the existing one, right?
Yeah, I think I took big file. Okay, it is 12 MB. Okay, it is attached. Why it is working slow? What is the problem here?
Is network slow? Your instance is slow.
Yes. Microsoft Edge. It's not working also. I will submit it.
Yeah.
Okay, it is submitted. So you can see our test is finished running and we can see the flow execution details. So here you can see how much time it took, which we were discussing earlier, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how much time it triggered and how much time this action is performed. You can see 3 millisecond, and
Mm-hmm.
when flow started, it took 4 milliseconds, right?
Yeah.
And you can see more detail as well. You can see update record, right? And you can see every information will be displayed here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you will see this is a flow test. This short description was updated here. You can see,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you will click on this record. You will see short description set.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So this is also good thing. That's why some client like this kind of things performing in the system, because in workflow we generally don't get these kind of details in very quick duration of time. We can find it how much time activities took to work, but again we cannot get details in a single view, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can see what how much time it took and what all details it got updated, right? And you
Yeah.
can see all the action status, output data, document ID, everything. You can see here details which performs on backend.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so here you can test as well. So this is a really good feature. Suppose you have to work on incident or change or any kind of table where you have to perform certain kind of what you call is like automation kind of thing, just like we used to do in our business rule, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you can perform same thing here. And now I will tell you one more thing, how we can create it for catalog item. So test for catalog item, we have to change one option. I will show you. Here you can see we have multiple trigger option. First is record and then schedule and then application, right? So
Yeah.
you can see, we can see like we have inbound email we can create using our flow, and we can run a schedule job also, or we can create a catalog. So I will select the catalog here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And now we don't have to select anything. When to run the flow, just keep it none. It will automatically run because you will add this flow in your catalog item, right?
Mm-hmm.
In catalog item also you have to mention what flow you want to execute. So we will click on done, and then you can see our request item record is generated here. Okay. And we can create the action from ServiceNow core. We can select ask for approval here. You can see for which record that approval is required. We can select here requested item, right? And you can
Mm-hmm.
see as soon as I have dragged and dropped this requested item record, this details are populated automatically, right?
Mm-hmm.
So these are the approval rules. We can see anyone approves. Okay. And we can add the approval here. Uh, we can add manual approval. We
Can
can
I
add
restrict anyone instead of anyone approve specific approver? If approver is approve,
what you have asked.
no, in the anyone instead of anyone approves, I want
Yeah,
to
you can.
restrict specific person up.
No, no. See, approval will go to group of people. Suppose. So there is a option like if anyone approves, request will go.
Okay, anyone
All
approves
users
from the
want to
group.
approve, and if you want a specific user, that will be added directly here. So it will only go to that specific user.
Mm-hmm.
These are group user. User can be selected here. If you want to select any specific user to send approval,
Mm-hmm.
you can add it. It will be sent to this.
Anyone approves when Abraham Lincoln is a requester?
No, this is
He's
not a
approver.
request. He is approver.
Okay.
This is like this is the approver field only.
Mm-hmm.
So either you can add group also. You can select the group. Suppose I have selected the group, then approver will be this particular group.
Anyone from that
Yeah,
group.
yeah. So for group kind of thing, or suppose 4 5 approvers were triggered at a single instance. So for that, these kind of thing are used. Anyone approve or all user approves.
Mm-hmm.
At that point of time, the requirement comes. Generally, anyone approves is selected for most of the approvals. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So suppose we can add one group and we can click on done. Okay. So now we have asked for approval, and then we can now add the action, or we can just update the record after the approval. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can see here ask for approval is there. So everything is done, and you can add the action. You can add the action from ServiceNow core. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see we have more options open for our catalog item, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You can see wait for condition, and then you can see get catalog variables. So we suppose here we will not get the variables directly. You have to get the variables on the initial action. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Or whenever it is required, you have to add this. You have to make this as an action, and then you can utilize this on your complete flow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And wait for condition will be used here because we have to check whether the record is approved or rejected. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So same way we can utilize our workflow thing, and we can perform our approval notifications task, anything. I have already shown you, right?
Yeah.
Suppose I will remove this. I will show the action, what all action you can perform again as part of this catalog item. So previously we have selected incident table. We were not getting more option, but here you can see send email, send notification, send SMS, update record, wait for condition, copy attachment, delete attachment. And then we have associate record to email and move email attachments to record, and create catalog task, get catalog variables, record producer, get submit catalog item request. So all these kinds of actions are things you can use as part of ServiceNow core actions which can be utilized. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I will show you one example for catalog item itself, because I don't have right now correct item to display. So suppose this is the catalog item thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can see this. This is the thing. Also here they have. This is the action which is created. But you can see we have requested item manager approval. Okay. Here
Mm-hmm.
they have selected the record, and you can see if requested item is rejected, they have used the if condition here,
Mm-hmm.
right? Which I have showed you. You can check wait for condition, if condition. Okay.
Yeah.
And here they are checking if requested item is rejected. So here they are checking manager approval got rejected. You can see here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So on rejection, what they are doing, they are ending the flow, or they
Mm-hmm.
are moving forward. Whatever it's upon you, whatever you want to do as part of requirement. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now you can see it is rejected, they are ending, and if it is yes, they are moving forward to department head approval. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Again, they are moving. If the approval is done, they are creating a catalog task. Okay. And after catalog task, they have generated request item email notification.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Again, they have generated some catalog task. Again, they have generated some more catalog task. Okay. So
Yeah.
you can create as many tasks as per the requirement, whichever requirement is there for creating a flow.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you can see, I will show you this in diagram view as well. This will look somewhat good also. See, here you can see how our flow is executing. See,
Mm-hmm.
right? And here you can see how our manager approval is added. You can click on that. Okay. And you
Mm-hmm.
can add the stages also here. See, stage. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is the action. That's why stage is not there. Okay. So
Yeah.
this way you can execute your flow. All the steps will be displayed here, whether you are going on right path or not.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
So I think so that is all related about flow. So